Sherwood and my company, DSL Accounting. I've been an accountant all my working life, but more to the point for this presentation, I've actually been around the direct selling industry for the last 20 years, so I know it really well. So couple that with my knowledge of the inland revenue and what they want, and we have a great dual qualification to talk to you about tax and accounts. What we've done actually is take you back to school, where, if you remember, there was a thing called the 3 R's, reading, writing and arithmetic. Well, we have reinvented the 3 R's for the direct selling industry, and we call them register, receipts and the refund. Let's go through each of those in turn. The registration side is very simple. It's really to register you with the inland revenue so they can put you on their books, and at the same time they will give you a reference number from which you can file a tax return. Registration can be done in 3 ways. You can fill in some paper forms, you can go online, or you can ring up a telephone number and discuss the form over the phone. You can register as a self-employed person, sole trader, or in a partnership. And if by any chance you're already self-employed, you don't have to register again for joining your direct selling company. So that's the registration process, and I advise you to do it as soon as you possibly can. Get it over and done with. And actually it turns your business from being what might have been a bit of a hobby into a serious, proper business. The receipts is the next of the 3 R's, and here we're going about collecting receipts for all the expense claims which you can make, as on this list. Now, if you are employed, if your employer requires you to work from home, do you know, the best you can hope for is about £3 a week allowance. But being self-employed is a completely different story, and you can claim loads of expenses which you can turn into tax allowances. Some of them actually you've already got. You've got your own home, you've got your car, you've got your PC, and they can be turned straight away into tax allowances. But basically you've got the products you're buying to sell to your customers. You've got your training costs, anything you go by way of training or courses you've gone. As I said, you're working from home, so you can claim some home costs. Your car, you're travelling around, and maybe your company is an international company, you can fly to different countries as well, and claim all those. You can also have a telephone at home which you can use and claim for, maybe a mobile you'll be claiming for, and a great proportion of those last 2 items will be for business purposes, I can assure you. I mean, the telephone should be ringing all the time. Then you've got the equipment you're buying for your office. You've got PCs, laptops, office furniture, filing cabinets, anything like that, fully allowed for the claim. And then finally we have the odd family member who might help you in the business. Let's take one of your children, aged 14, 15, whatever. You're paying some pocket money. Call part of that a wage, pay it to little Johnny. He doesn't pay tax, but you can have so much off your profits for tax purposes. The requirement, though, would be that the child is old enough to do the work you say. Therefore, if little Johnny is 13 or 14 years old, absolutely fine. But if he's lying in his cot aged to 13 or 14 months, please don't make the claim. So that's the second of the R's, the receipt side. And the third R is to turn those receipts into a refund of tax. I mean, most people in this industry won't pay tax for the first couple of years. That's the nature of the business. You're building it up over a period of time. No one says it's a get-rich-quick business. It's not. It's a steady growth until you can get some colossal incomes later on. So, on the refund side, what are the requirements to claim a refund? Well, there are 2 basically. One is that you're going to have more receipts than income, and as I said, some of the expenses for receipts come from things you already have anyhow. Your home, your car, your PC. Those can be put against the business. So it's not difficult to envisage how expenses will exceed income, because you're starting from scratch, you're building up a profile of customers, then you begin to recruit and so forth. So that takes a little while. So more expenses than income is the norm. Then also the other requirement is to have already paid some tax, which means you've had a job. You either have a job right now in which you're paying PAYE, or in fact you can go back 3 years to see if you were working before and paying tax before. And by offsetting the expenses against the tax you're paying in your job, you will automatically find there should be a tax refund due to you. And when I tell you that we are pulling back something like over £1 million of tax refunds for our clients in a year, honestly, it's serious money, and make sure you get your fair share. You might be saying to me, well, hang on, I've never worked and I've never paid any tax. What happens to me? Well, in that case, all is not lost. You will simply carry your expenses forwards to the time when you would be paying tax in the future and use them then to reduce the tax bill. And the other way, of course, is that you might decide to register as a partnership, and you can allocate the expenses to the partner who actually earns the most money and pays the most tax outside the business, and therefore you might maximise the refund that way. The requirement which the Revenue have introduced some years ago is that in order to do this, you must be able to show that you each work for 10 hours a week in the business. Well, in direct selling, most of the work is in the evenings and at weekends, so that wouldn't be difficult to prove at all. Normally it would be absolutely the case. So there we are, the 3 R's, the registration, the receipts, and now the tax refund. Working with DSL, you can do it in several ways. You can either work on what we call a shoebox basis, which means basically we do absolutely everything for you. You simply collect the receipts, put them in a box, and let them have us once a year, and then we will turn them into accounts, tax returns, and do that all for you, and get you that all-important refund. Otherwise, we will email you a spreadsheet program. You complete that. All the headings for income and expenses are included, and then you email that back to us. That'll save you a bit of cost, obviously, but you're going to have to do a bit more work yourself. Advice is totally free. You can ring us or email us any questions, and we'll make sure you get the answers. So that's another important service we can provide. Otherwise, we have a couple of products I wanted just to show you briefly. One is what we call a starter kit, and that is really your Bible to the industry. It's all about what I'm talking about right now, all the expense claims you can make, how the whole system works, how you get your refund. And the back end of it, you'll find an audio CD, 20 minutes long, like a Q&A, and so as you're going home from the meeting, you're listening to this out, why not play that or write to us for it, and we'll let you get you have a copy. I'll give you the address at the end of the presentation. Otherwise, I've written a book appropriately titled Tax Without Tears. We don't want tears around tax in our place. And that is a bit more generic. It tells you about being working from home in any self-employed capacity. So the pair of those products really helps you on your way as far as tax and accounting is concerned. Then as you grow your business, we'll be with you, right behind you, giving you advice on issues like VAT when you come across that. And later on, of course, as you really grow your business and you achieve the higher levels of income, which are very possible, we have lots of clients earning six-figure incomes, and I can assure you, it's that kind of an industry. We'll be forming limited companies for you, getting your income out as dividends, any other way we can, legitimately to keep your tax bill as low as possible. So in summary form, what we're about, we've got the products I've already described to you, the services which are tax returns and accounts and getting a refund for you, and advice of course is always a free issue. So finally, HMRC, those dreaded letters which normally stand for Her Majesty's Revenue Customs, as far as we're concerned, it stands for How's My Refund Coming Along? Now finally, our name and contact details. DSL Accounting, our telephone number is 01926 422 872, that's 01926 422 872, or email us at info@dsla.biz, B-I-Z, info@dsla.biz. And thank you for listening. Good luck to you all.